Guys, welcome back to a brand new episode. I am back from the West. That's right, your girl just came back from Europe, and I wanted to say that this is my second Europe trip, but actually it is not. Last year I was in Switzerland, but only Switzerland. So, like, the whole Europe, like multiple countries, multiple cities. I haven't done anything like this since 2018. So it has been a while. So this is me fresh from where I was, still very much jet lagged. In fact, I fell asleep on the couch yesterday before bedtime. Like around 8:30, I fell asleep on the couch because I was so tired trying to stay up throughout the day. And yeah. So let's get started. I think by now it is somewhat a tradition, a thing where I come back and podcast to you guys because I feel like I find so much joy in podcasting, one. And two, I think there are a lot of details that can't be shared. Not that can't be shared. It's too much to be shared on Reels or like social media or like IG stories. So podcast is where I can ramble on, and you guys can just put me on the side in your background and just keep me company, or I keep you company, whatever it is that you're doing right now. If it's laundry, oh my gosh, I have so much laundry to do, by the way, guys. It's insane. So let's get to it, right? A couple of questions that you guys ask is, how did I plan for it and how long did I take to plan for it? To be very honest, I planned this very last minute. I think I knew I wanted to go about 2 months before, but nothing was done. Like, everything was in the head. And plus my work schedule can be very, very random. And if I've got a job, I might usually just postpone my own travel, and I would try to find time where it's like low season, because that's when everyone's away and I don't lose out on too many jobs, because your girl is a freelancer pretty much. I am my own boss. So if I don't work, means no money. So if I'm going to be away for such a long time, means I'm not getting any moolah into my pocket or my bank account for that amount of time. So 2.5 weeks was my max I could go, I feel. And I didn't want to leave the team behind for too long as well. And I know, because if I come back after such a long time, it's going to be hard for me to, I don't know, resume work. So I do not recommend anyone to do what I did, to book everything 2 weeks before I was supposed to fly. Y'all, I was a champ. There's a lot of drama that ensued before. I wasn't supposed to book my flight this late, but something unfortunately happened. Long story short, 2 weeks before was when I booked everything. So I will break down the cost later. Obviously, I think my costs would be significantly, if not at least 30-40% higher than what it should be. But again, it is because I booked quite last minute. Another thing I want to bring up, right, is I'm very used to going on work trips, like the trip to Switzerland, to Bhutan last year, Hong Kong, Macau. A lot of my work trips were, like I said, work trips, meaning most things were taken care of. Like, literally, the moment I get out the airport, someone will pick me up. Like, it's nice. But when it's my own holiday, I forget how much work goes into it. So shout out to all my clients that brought me on trips. You guys are champ, because traveling is very tiring. So I had to plan everything myself. So where did I go? Who did I go to at this last minute rate? Well, my friend ChatGPT. And guys, I have to say, it's basic. I know everybody's been ChatGPTing and I know how much energy it uses, but I was very mindful about the prompts that I use, which I will share with you guys. But of course, it's doubled with a lot of my own research as well. Like, sure, ChatGPT says stay here, but I also went on YouTube and search and watch videos on TikTok and double check it. So it's not blindly ChatGPTing and relying on the bot, because you can't fully rely on a bot 100% because there could be error. But yeah, I pretty much ChatGPT'd the first half of my planning because I couldn't be bothered. I was under so much stress. I was still working. So some of the prompts I used was, hey, help me plan a 2.5 week trip to Europe. Cities I want to cover: Paris, Nice, Barcelona, Valencia, and Rome. Honestly, at that point, my cities was not even the final city that I ended up going. It was a lot of changes. And it came up with the best itinerary ever. Actually, I even double checked it, the places, and then I even went in to ask areas that I should stay, must avoid areas, things that I must do, and how many days I need in this city. Because sometimes when you've not been to a place, you don't know how much time is needed, right? You would want to like, okay, is it really nice? What if I don't like it? So ChatGPT helped me do that. So yes, the trick is be as specific as possible. Ask everything in one and not like one after another, because it's going to be hard for you to scroll through up and down. And then this thing I did was after I got everything I wanted, I asked ChatGPT to put it all in a table, compact, concise, easy for me to check through. So yeah, and don't say thank you to ChatGPT. You're wasting energy, by the way. Don't need to. Okay, it's a bot. Don't need to be too polite. It's okay. But yeah, ChatGPT did. But of course, like I said, I did my research as well. And with that said, I will be sharing a city by city recap as best as I can. There's just so much to cover. So I'm just going to cover what I think is important and worth sharing. Things that I've learned, mistakes that I've done, and how I travel between cities, and of course, how much I spend, which is a frequently asked question from my last IG story. So let's get started. Can I be honest with you? I'm not really a foundation girly, but foundation that feels like skincare, now that's a different story. The NARS Light Reflecting Cushion Foundation might just be your new bestie. I have been using it for a couple of months now, so that I can now say I'm head over heels for it, tried and tested. It's packed with this amazing Triple C brightening complex that uses vitamin C to brighten your skin gently, and the finish is so skin-like. It's like second skin. Now, all thanks to the skincare coated pigments, it blends right in. It also has cacao peptides and moringa seed to help protect your skin from those blue light and pollution, because yes, that is a thing, and camellia flower extract to boost hydration, smoothness, and elasticity over time. It also has SPF 42, so you are covered on the sun protection too. So if you're looking for foundation that gives you that gorgeous dewy finish, give the NARS Light Reflecting Cushion Foundation a go. Or better yet, try out yourself. I've got you sorted with a flash cushion makeover session at your nearest NARS store. All you have to do is mention the code HOH4NARS and you'll get a free makeover to find your perfect shade. I got you, girl. Again, it's HOHFOR NARS. HOH for NARS, okay? Simple. Terms and conditions apply. Now back to the episode. The time was, I don't even remember, guys. It's been so long. I arrived in Paris quite late at night, if I'm not wrong. It is not my first time. In fact, my first time, I hated Paris. I came home and I told everyone, I am never going back to Paris ever again. It smelled like piss. People were rude. They were racist AF. So this time I went to Paris with that mindset. I'm not going to lie. When you've gone to a city that you didn't like, going back there again can feel scary. What if it repeats? But I realized the mistake that I did in the first time was that I stayed in a sketchy as hell area. I don't even remember where it is. The Airbnb that I booked no longer even exists because I tried looking for it in my history. 2018 is a long time ago. It does not exist anymore. But when I check the maps, it's like way up, like if you've been to Paris, where Montmartre is, slightly above. And it's basically the area that everybody say do not stay. So that's where I stayed the last time. But this time I stayed in La Marais, and it's a beautiful, vibrant area, very LGBTQ friendly as well. And you actually see rainbows everywhere in the streets, on the ground. I love that. And I felt very safe there. And it's very unheard of because you've heard so much stories about Paris being dangerous, pickpockets and everything. But even my host said that our neighborhood is really safe, generally pretty safe, because I don't know, I guess it's just a safer area, right? So yeah, this time I want to see Paris properly and not rush it, just to make up for what I've lost in the last trip. So that's what I did. Didn't have too much time this time though. It's like 3 days, 2 nights. No, wait, was it 3 nights? Anyway, I have very little time. I have 4 days, 3 nights. But then the first night I already arrived so late. So I tried to cover as much touristy spot as I could because the first time I didn't get to see the Eiffel Tower. But this time I did. And it's my favorite moment. I watched the Eiffel Tower light up at night. So basically what it does is I check online. It says for the first 5 minutes of the first hour after sun goes away, sun's down, it will light up for 5 minutes. So again, one thing I didn't really check was the daylight saving, the timing and everything, what time sun sets. Only when I arrived, I'm like, holy shit, the sun sets at 9 p.m. So get me, basically by almost 10 p.m. there is still somewhat sunlight. Do you know how when our sunset at 7 p.m. it's like slowly gets dark? So by 9 p.m. only it gets dark. So it was a little bit mind-fucking plus jet lag. It was not easy to fall asleep. But I waited and waited till 10 p.m. Super tired that day because it was the first official day in Paris. Still super jet lag. But I watched the Eiffel Tower light up at night. It was completely free. You just get an Uber there or get a train there. And then I sat in that area where supposedly is quite dangerous. People could pickpocket you basically. So I just lied down on my bags just to be safe. I did not bring anything. People were picnicking there. It was really nice. Plus, the weather was quite cold. I think spring is a beautiful weather because it's not too hot in the summer. I can't do summer in any country, not even my own country. So no, I just stay at home most of the time, right? So I did that. And then I checked out the Louvre. The crowd was insane. I checked out Sacré-Cœur. Guys, it was impossible. Like, I look at the queue, I just want to get out of there. So that was my vibe when I was in Paris the other time. I mean, this time, it's very, very crowded. It was already getting into peak season, I would say. Was it not enjoyable? I mean, it was okay. Again, I already have this bias towards Paris, but to be very honest, I did enjoy my time in Paris, especially in La Marais where I stayed. There were a lot of cute cafes that I managed to check out. Walking around was super easy. You walk like 10 minutes or 5 minutes and you see lots of the shopping streets and it's like nice. It reminded me of Covent Garden in London, if you guys have been there. What's equivalent in Malaysia? We don't have outdoor shopping. We don't really have that, can? So it's really nice anyway. So I highly recommend the area that I stayed. It's La Marais. It's Lamarais. And yeah, unfortunately, the one thing that happened in Paris was bed bugs. I woke up, I think my first night, after I woke up the first night, I had bites. I woke up and saw myself in the mirror and I'm like, do I have a pimple? And it's a huge one. It's like a fresh red one on my forehead. And I'm like, wait a second, there's another one on the left. You know, we don't usually get 2 pimples at the same time. Like, it's just not possible. And I turn around. There's some on my back and there's some on my arm. I'm like, holy shit, what is this? And I posted on social media and then everybody started scaring me saying, oh my God, Maggy. Oh, wait, our showrunner as well, Cole, was telling me, Maggy, you need to make sure it does not come home with you. I'm like, wait, is that such a big deal? Because like literally 5 to 6 people, my friends who know me, say, be careful, check and close up your luggage right now. I'm like, wait, it's just bed bugs. Then I Googled it and I did not know it was pretty much a bed bug pandemic in Paris at some point. I think it was during Olympics or something. People were protesting and then the cleaners weren't cleaning and then places just got infested with all these shits. And I'm just like, oh my God. Reading this while you're traveling is very anxiety inducing. It is insane. I couldn't sleep and I was just like panicking about every single baju I have. I was checking every single piece of underwear I have to check if there's this little seat looking thing that could be the bed bug. So that was not very nice, especially it was just my first stop and I have like so many more stops to go. So, but what I did was I made sure I washed the baju and then unfortunately the bed I have to sleep on for the next few days. The bite didn't go away. And I didn't think it was that serious until I actually left the Airbnb, to be very fair. Like, it only kicked in after I realized how bad it is after I checked out. So I did leave a review on the Airbnb. So maybe now that after I left, I realized how big of a deal it is because I could very well shut down the Airbnb now because if people see bedbug, they will not book, right? So the host might hate me right now. But the truth is, memang I got it from there. I'm sorry lah. What you want me to do? So, and this time, guys, the French people, actually, they were very nice. The first time I had a very racist experience. Literally, the guy this is my first time, like 2018. I went to a restaurant and they basically did not serve us very well. And the moment we finished the last bite of my pizza, they threw the bill on the table, asking us to pay and go right away because they didn't want us in the restaurant. And it was not even full. So that was my first time. So this time I was actually very apprehensive. I was really scared that would happen again. But hey, everyone was so nice. They spoke English and they were all so friendly. Yeah, I kind of enjoyed it. So it was not that bad. So thank you, Paris. So yeah, after Paris, I took a 6-hour train to Nice, which is south of France, and the French Riviera. Like, I've heard so much about it. I've never been there. So I thought, okay, you know what? I'm going to check it out. A lot of my friends were saying, Maggie, if you love France, the south of France is even better and is less expensive compared to Paris. Obviously, Paris is a big city, right? So took a 6-hour train ride from Paris to Nice. And you know how when you're in a whole new city, it's very hard to get your bearings right. So guess what? I almost got robbed, y'all. And this is only my second stop. Holy shit. So this is the crazy thing that happened. I arrived at Niceville, the train station in Nice. And then it's quite a walk to... Betul tak? Yes, sorry. And I was staying in Old Nice, meaning closer to the beach, meaning I need to take some sort of public transport to where I was going to stay, my Airbnb. So I decided to take the tram because it's the most cost efficient. Because everything there is in euros times 5. I'm going to try to save as much as I can. And tram is easy, relatively pretty easy, right? So I lugged my luggage to the tram and I'm like, hey, where do I buy the ticket? And then I saw this machine next to the tram station and I looked there. Oh, wait, okay, perfect. I didn't miss out on it because I thought the ticketing was in the train station. Like, I didn't know anything. My bearings was all over the place. So I was trying to buy the ticket with my luggages with me, my bags with me, trying to figure out the machine. And it's like a touch screen and you need to pick your language. And I couldn't really touch it. The touching mechanics has some issues. So I was struggling with it for a little bit. And then this girl came to help me. She was so nice about it. And she seemed nice, nothing suspicious. And she also seemed like she needed to top up her card because clearly I was taking a while trying to figure out the machine. So I thought, okay, she just wants me to, be quick so that she will not miss her tram. So I didn't think too much. And then suddenly, guys, this man came up to me, came to the front of the machine and said, she's trying to rob you. And I'm like, right away, I switched from being really friendly to this girl. Oh my God, thank you so much. You're so nice to. I was very quick, very cold, very quick. It was a complete switch the moment he said, she's trying to rob you. And before he came over, I did turn around. I saw another girl just standing there with how do I put it? Like a cloth over her hand, actually. I don't know. I don't remember. I wasn't really staring at her. I just thought there's people queuing in the back, so I was trying to be quick. She's holding either a bag or a cloth that's white. I remember the white color in front of her, okay? And then I was disorientated. I froze for a bit. So from being nice and warm to her, suddenly I was a lot colder, and I know she felt it. So now my guard is up. I got my tickets, grabbed onto my bags tight, and I walked over to the tram, which was just 5 steps away. The man that first warned me was also 5 steps away. He was looking out for me the whole time after he gave me the heads up. But again, it could all be a trio thing, right? He could also just try to, I don't know, scam me in some way, scare me, and then she'll do something else. And then it's like a plot twist situation. So I was just like, I can't trust anybody right now. But guess what? When the tram came, the man who gave me heads up, he actually had a nice Burberry backpack. So he looked very sharp, very sharply dressed. suited, not suited, like a nice polo tee, very tight and nice, decent looking. And he just got onto the tram. And I got onto the tram as well. And I realized that girl did not come on. So that's when I realized, oh my God, I think I almost got robbed for real. Like, it hit me so late. I'm so lagged, guys. She was trying to obviously distract me while the girl behind was trying to, don't know lah, freaking put her hand into one of my backpack or open up my zipper or whatever. And I remember I had like two phones in my front zipper. Silly me, because I have extra phone because I'm a content creator, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh my God, I really almost got robbed. That was so easy. If that guy did not come and warn me, finish. Should have taken something. I don't know. I really don't know. So joke's on me. Because I swear I thought, oh my God, the people in Nice are so nice. I thought that was my first impression. Oh my God, after coming from Paris, pickpockets everywhere also. Oh my God, people in Nice are so nice. Well, joke's on me. I almost got robbed in Nice, guys. So moral of the story here is really you have to trust no one. Did I trust that man who gave me heads up? Yeah, I kind of did. And even in the tram, he's like, be very careful. These people will approach you just like that, especially when your guard is down. And he was a local, I think. So, yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. So that's the story of me being almost robbed. So hope that will give you guys a bit of a heads up whenever you travel to Europe. It's hard because you have to like have your guards up all the time. And sometimes your guards goes down because you feel comfortable and then someone makes you feel safe. But no, don't trust anyone. So in Nice, I stayed in Old Nice, and I kind of want to describe to you how I felt as best as I can when I was there. Old Nice feels like stepping into a Mediterranean postcard. It's like the streets are super narrow, kind of maze-like. You've got tall pastel buildings in shades of yellow, peach, terracotta, all those colors. It's a bit rustic, it's a bit charming. And you've got little balconies with their plants and the windows that opens on both sides. And occasional cats that will be lounging around like they own the place. It's always buzzing. It's always buzzing. The moment you walk into Old Nice, you've got this big market that's called Corsalea. Not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. I don't think so. But they sell flowers, fresh produce, lavender soap, spices, you name it. So many lavender soaps. And you get gelatos, you get cafes in every corner you turn. And you hear a mix of French and Italians being spoken. And also live music down the alley. And that old school European vibe, but still feels super alive. Like, it's so alive. That was the impression I got. Wow, this city is so alive, especially at night. They'll start drinking, and then the restaurant will put out their tables out to the square, and it'll fill up the square, and it's so lively. And the energy is not the same. You would think you get the energy in Paris, but in Paris, I feel like everyone is for themselves. Everyone is hustling for something. They are up to the next event, Paris Fashion Week or whatever. But in Nice, everyone is so nice. I stick by that. Everyone's so nice. But with every good thing comes a little not so good. I picked wrong Airbnb. Very unfortunate. I stayed in that Airbnb. I mean, it's not the worst, but not the best. Location is top. I'm not going to complain because it's right in the cities, in the center of Old Nice, which is a very old town, guys. It's like hundreds and thousands of years old. So the location was great. I'm not going to complain. But because it's in Old Nice, the building was very how do I say this? Dilapidated. It's like rundown building. Of course, there are some that's like refurbished, but that's not my Airbnb, unfortunately. And it's located right next to a trash area, y'all, and it's smelly as hell. So when it rains and then the water with the trash water mixed together, the smell is just unbearable. Ugh. So that's what happened. Plus, it did rain when I was there a couple of times. And what the owner failed to mention was that it's right next to a nightclub, motherfucker. So I arrived Friday night, if I'm not wrong. And can you imagine? I did not sleep the whole night. You can hear sounds of people screaming, yelling, crying, just partying, getting pissed drunk, and then glasses getting smashed and then thrown into the trash area. It was so loud. It was so bad that I could not sleep. So unfortunately, that's the downside of my trip in Nice. But everything else was really lovely. As soon as I walk out of my Airbnb, okay, it's good. But every time I have to come back to it, I just dread it. So I stay out as much as I can. That was Nice. Very quick trip. 5 days, actually, no. I had 5 days there. I did a day trip to Monaco one of the days, but most of the days were raining. We had some pockets of sunshine in between. That's about it. Nice was really nice. I would highly recommend. In fact, I saw a lot of like bride crew, like a lot of people getting married, like brides to be. So there were a lot of girls in like their sash or their veil with their girlfriend celebrating their bachelorette. So it's very lively. Like I really, really enjoyed Nice despite my Airbnb in a not so nice location. So what tip can I give you to not stay in there? Well, I stayed in Old Nice. So if you want that old town charm, sure, it's worth it. But you might want to just double check on the reviews and see if everyone liked it. Because even if there's like 2 or 3 bad reviews, take it for real. Because that's what happened to my Airbnb. Most of the reviews were by single people, solo travelers. So the reviews was chill. They're like, more whatever. But I remember, but this was after I booked. Only I went back to see, there was this one review that made me feel exactly how I felt. But it was a family of, I think it's a young couple with a baby. They also stayed, I think, around the weekends. The baby couldn't sleep. And you know how it is when babies can't sleep, you get nightmare. Not actual nightmare, but it's not actually having nightmare dreams, but like it's a nightmare when your baby cannot sleep. So they were complaining about it, that the host failed to say and tell them, disclose the location that is next to a nightclub. And yeah. So next up after Nice. So after Nice, bear with me, guys. There's so many cities that I went to. Actually, I went to 5 cities, and to cram that into an hour episode is a challenge, but I'm going to try my best. So after Nice, I took a flight to Barcelona. I've never been to Spain, so I was really excited. Yeah, so Barcelona was really nice. And I heard a lot of horror stories, though, before I went. Like, just after I booked my flight from Nice to Barcelona, I went on TikTok and people were talking about how they are anti-tourist protests everywhere. People are against tourists. Like the local people didn't want tourists to be there. And I'm like, holy shit, what did I do? So I did go there with a lot of anxiety. But before I get there though, if you're planning to go to Barcelona very soon, again, disclaimer, I don't know if it's city specific, but there is this anti-tourist sentiment that's going around with the locals right now. And if you don't know what it is, well, basically, locals in Barcelona, and according to this article says other parts of Spain as well, have been feeling the pressure from over-tourism for years. We're talking about packed streets, yep. Crowded beaches, yep. Rental prices going through the roof because so many apartments are being turned into Airbnb. And it's gotten to a point where people, like local everyday people, cannot afford to live in their own neighborhoods anymore. So if you just go to TikTok right now, a quick search on Barcelona anti-tourists, you will see a lot of videos. So, you know that trend, I'm not in pain, I'm in Spain. People do that where Sagrada Familia is, and it was a very specific escalator. Escalator? Yeah. Escalator that comes up, and the back view is the view of Sagrada Familia. And that one, sudah kena block. You don't need to do already. They have police standing there that will not allow people to use it. Even if you're allowed to use the escalator, you cannot put your phone there or you will be fined, if I'm not wrong. It's gotten that bad. A TikTok reel can make a space kena fine, can impose a fine in an area. That's how bad it has gotten. I think people started queuing up. It's the same thing with the Mount Fuji situation in Japan. Like, the Lawson that was located right in front, or like located where Mount Fuji is, you get the best view of the Mount Fuji, is also being blocked. Locals are complaining. So that's the problem with touristy spots. Personally, that's why I also don't really enjoy going to touristy spots for that reason. But I guess there are some exceptions to it. So I went there a really bit scared. I didn't want to go to the touristy area for a reason. So I stayed in this area called Gracia. It's a quieter neighborhood. Actually felt a lot safer at night. I could walk around at night buying pizzas and buy some groceries without feeling like I was gonna get robbed. It's also just 20 minutes walk to the touristy area, which is very doable if you want to walk. Plus it was spring season, so weather's kind of chilly. In fact, Barcelona was quite cold. I don't know why. Yeah, but the area to avoid at all costs, y'all, is La Rambla. Please avoid that area because according to my research, a lot of locals that or people who lived there for a couple of months, they put up videos on TikTok. You can find it where to stay in Barcelona. They will tell you to avoid La Rambla at all cost. It's kind of like their Bukit Bintang Street, I guess, but not like not exactly lah, but more European, kan? It's like Champs-Élysées in Paris, like the main shopping street. And just walking there in general, I had to hold my bag tighter than I usually do because I did not feel safe just walking there during the day. So especially if you're going to go there alone or even just a couple or family with your mom and dad who could be a bit more like, a bit blurred, they don't know the language, you just have to take care of them. No, don't stay there, guys. There are better areas. I think there are a couple of areas, but I'm not sure again what it's called. But I stayed in Gracias. It was quite okay. Exemple. Yes, exemple. It's kind of like, it looks like example, like spelled as example. Exemple, that's another area that people recommended, but I couldn't find an Airbnb that's within the budget, so I didn't stay there. So Barcelona, Gracia, Exemple, highly recommend. But generally, I didn't feel too safe in Barcelona. Like, just had to like hold on to my bag tight the whole time. Had to be on high alert at all times. And when I was there, I also saw a video of a man holding a machete, chasing after people on the streets in Barcelona. Again, wasn't exactly in the area that I was in, but damn, they are crazy. So yeah, just be careful. I think it's just generally in Europe, I'm not sure what has happened, but it's no longer as safe as it used to be. Just felt a lot more sketchier in general. Like, not the area is sketchy, people are sketchy. Areas are beautiful, it still is beautiful, but it's just people that just doing nasty, dodgy ass shit that's making it not enjoyable anymore for tourists, especially. So plus, especially if you're a tourist, they'll target you even more, I think. But yeah, my highlight for Barcelona was definitely the Sagrada Familia. If you haven't seen, I did a video about it on my Instagram. Please book a tour for it. I think it's always nice to have someone local who knows the story and history, and because there's really so much to take in, like a lot. I don't even know where to begin. So if I were to go on my audio guide, I think I'll be very lost because you don't know where's the best parts, where's the best angle. But with a tour guide, you will be able to do that. So also another thing, eat before you go because it's a 3 to 4 hour thing at the very least. Plus the crowd, maybe even longer. And if you like that place, you want to stay longer, just be good to not have your stomach empty because you don't need to rush out just to eat, right? So yeah. And also Spain is also the home of a lot of our favorite brands. Personally, I love Mango, I love Zara, Loewe, Massimo Dutti. So if you love these brands, this is the home of it. Their store so nice. Personally, I was shocked at how nice Massimo Dutti is. In Malaysia, we have a store in Wanatama, I think, and also Pavilion or Bangsa. But I never walk in because I feel like it's very, I'm sorry, very old, like ish. But in Spain, it feels like elevated Zara, elevated Mango. Like the style so nice. And I went to the main store. Upstairs is like freaking gallery, like proper art gallery with like a patio and a balcony. Oh, guys, it's so chante. I'm not even gonna lie. That's the one thing about Europe. Like all these buildings, the architecture, the design is incredible. You can't get it here. It's just not the same. So yes, if you want to shop, I think Barcelona is the place to shop as well. Plus it's the home of Loewe. Casa Loewe is there. You get 12% off. I didn't buy because I'm trying to save up money as much as I can. Plus I'm already spending so much on this trip, but I almost walked out with the Loewe puzzle. Almost, but I didn't. I got a free Coke though because they will serve you with free drinks. So I got the Coke for free. I saved €2. Anyway, sound like a cheapo, but it is what it is. So after Barcelona, I went to this city that I wasn't supposed to go. Okay. The reason why I went to this city was because it had the most flight option for me to fly from there to my final destination, that was Rome. So I would have otherwise skipped it, to be very honest. But after Barcelona, I went to Valencia. If you have been on the hunt for a vitamin C serum that actually works without stressing out your skin, this might be your sign. Drunk Elephant just dropped their all-new C Luma Hydra Bright Serum, and it is designed for anyone who wants that brighter, healthier looking glow without the usual sting that comes with some vitamin C products, if you know what I mean. So it's a 10% vitamin C serum, but made with a gentler combo, 9% sodium ascorbyl phosphate and 1% ascorbyl glucoside. Don't worry, let me translate. It basically helps with dullness, fine lines, discoloration, and also help fight blemishes as well, while being kind to your skin. It's packed with hydration boosters like sodium hyaluronate. So whether you are a skincare newbie or someone who's never found the one, C Luma is the friendly vitamin C that plays well with others. You can even mix it with your favorite Drunk Elephant moisturizer or serum to make your own custom skincare smoothie. At Drunk Elephant, mixing is the new layering. So get glowing with the gentle yet effective C Luma Hydra Bright Serum, available now at your nearest Sephora, or you can also find Drunk Elephant at the Exchange TRX and Isetan KLCC. Now, let's get back to the episode. Valencia. Guys, it's my favorite. I tell you now, it's my favorite stop. But I don't want to hype it up too much, then later it become touristy again. So again, I don't want to gatekeep, so I'm going to be neutral, but I love it so much. It's a very lovely small town, super easy to get around. And fun fact, Valencia, it spells CIA, Valencia, but pronounced Valencia, right? Valencia. Oh, right. Okay. Valencia. Anyway, so fun fact, Valencia is officially recognized as one of the greenest cities in Europe. They have over 160 kilometers of bike lanes, so everyone there bikes. Approximately 97% of Valencia residents live within the 300 meters of green urban area. So they've got this place called Turia Gardens. I don't know if I'm pronouncing Turia Gardens. It's like a 9-kilometer long park that's developed from a former riverbed, and it's now the city's central green artery. It's beautiful. Like, I could spend all day there. You see people doing yoga, you see people just walking, you see kids doing gymnastics, you just see everyone being so active and just out in the sun at any time of the day, because sunset's really late at night. So in the morning, people are jogging. At 8 p.m., people are jogging. At 9 p.m., there's still people there. So it's so nice. And people are biking there. You can imagine, it's so nice. I think I said so nice so many times. But yeah, coming from Barcelona when I was on high alert at all times, this was quite refresher, honestly. Even their streets are made of marble. Astaga. Serious lah. I'm serious. Like, marble, I was staring at their streets at the whole time, like, how is it so nice? And there's this big square where I don't see cars, just people walking and people biking, and it's, again, so nice. So yeah, fun fact, guys, about Valencia. Did you know that it was actually founded by the Romans back in 138 BC, before century? But get this right, it wasn't just any Roman city. It was kind of like the OG retirement spot for them. The Romans basically set it up as a chill place for their retired soldiers to settle down after years of battle. Okay, after years of going to war, this is where they retire. So imagine spending your life fighting across empire after empire, and then your reward is this sunny coastal city with paella and beach vibes. So yeah, that's Valencia to you. And it gives this very soft life energy the moment you go. So after going from big cities like Paris, Barcelona, this was, I think maybe, I don't know if it's because I didn't quite enjoy the big cities as much as I thought I would. this was just very nice. And they have lots of cathedral, basilica, and the narrowest building in all of Europe. It's also there. I managed to check that out too. So what I did was I actually booked a bike tour on my first official day. And just to get my bearings right, highly recommend that. I went around the city and just on the bike, so I can kind of bookmark where I want to go, because the guide will also tell us, okay, this and that and this and that. Because there's this modern part of Valencia that I personally didn't like. It reminded me of Putrajaya. If you go Google, you know what I mean. I don't know the modern part of Valencia reminded me, like Putrajaya has all the big bridge that's like arches and everything. Like when I walked there, I was like, huh, Putrajaya. So personally, I didn't like it, but because I went there already anyway with my bike trip, I know, okay, I will not waste my time walking here or biking here or whatever. Covered this already. So what I really liked was really being in the Old Town area and the park as well. I spent a lot of time there. I kind of jogged there every other morning, so it was really nice. So I highly recommend doing a bike tour when you're there and just enjoy the city. Like, I don't think I need to tell you what to do. When you're there, you will know where you want to go. So this was the wildest thing that I experienced in Valencia. Something called mascleta. It's basically this fireworks that happens every afternoon at 2 p.m. during the festival time. Now, here's the thing, right? It's not about the visuals. It's about the sound. It's very loud. Like, we know how loud fireworks sound, right? But this one, you literally feel it in your chest. The locals will say it's really like witnessing a bomb exploding, except it's not a bomb. So normally they do this in March during a festival called it's called LASFALLAS. Lafayette, I'm not sure. And I was there in May, and turns out that they also have special editions for other celebration. I don't even remember. It was Lady of the Forsaken something. It was celebrating something, and I managed to catch one. And it was insane. The entire city basically stopped. You can see all the tourists that would just gather at the square. Even the locals, they would take a break. Everybody will go there. And then it's just 5 to 7 minutes of pure explosive chaos. Guys, mind you, this is happening in broad daylight. So again, you can't actually see it, but you can feel it in your bones. It's really not one of those, wow, what an experience. Once in a lifetime, really, because you don't always get to go to a country where the locals celebrate something special of their culture in that exact time, right? Maybe the next time I go to Barcelona will not be this time again. I will not be able to experience mascleta again. But yeah, so in that moment, I had this realization. You know how I fucked up Monaco, that I went there during the Formula E? I didn't check. That was last Sunday. And then this Sunday, when the mascleta happened, I got to see it. So I thought, hey, you know what? That's life. Things will not always go your way. But when it does, it will be good. What will happen to you will happen for you. So yeah, if I terbalikkan my trip, I feel like maybe it will not be the same. Like, I go to Monaco later, or then I go to Spain later, I will not be able to experience this mascleta thing. So it was really nice. Sometimes when you travel, you just realize, yeah, things are happening for you. Like, just go with the flow. It's okay. It's okay. So yes, that was Valencia, one of my favorite cities right now in the world. I like it more than Barcelona, actually. Also, if y'all love paella, that's where paella is from. It's the origin. It's not even from Barcelona. It's from Valencia. So paella was actually born in Valencia in Spain in the mid-19th century as a humble farmers and laborers dish. It was traditionally cooked over an open fire in the fields using whatever that's on hand, usually rice, tomatoes, onions, beans, meats, like rabbit meat. They actually started with rabbit meat, chicken, and even snail. Not the seafood paella that we have today, the black squid one. Not that, okay? The word paella actually refers to the wide, shallow pan that it's cooked in, okay? And it started as a rural meat, but became iconic with seafood versions, which is the popular ones that we have today, and later popularized along the coast. But if you're in Valencia, their true paella is not the seafood one, but it's the one with rabbit meat, just the basic stuff. It's not the fancy ones that we have today. So that's a fun fact for you right there. It was a hidden gem for me because I wasn't supposed to go there. I was supposed to go to Seville. I was supposed to go to Milan, but I'm glad I chose Valencia. It was beautiful. We are about to head over to our final stop, so bear with me. And if you're still waiting for Maggie, tell me what I'm supposed to do and I'm not supposed to do. Hold on. I've compiled all of the mistakes that I've done, so you don't have to. Okay? And now on to our final stop, Roma. Okay. Where do I start? I arrived at the airport and then we had to go to the equivalent of KL Central, Roma Termini. When I arrived there, very hectic. Honestly, I didn't feel safe in that part of Rome. A little bit sketchy. So be careful with your belongings, especially if you're going to carry a lot of bags. And this is like, imagine, after so many cities, you would have been shopped. You would have been shopping already. That's what I'm saying. You had been shopping, you would have shopping bags with you. So people will target you, you know, like with all these shopping bags, especially if you're like crazy shoppers. So just be careful. And even my Airbnb host told me that please be careful. There are pickpockets everywhere, and even signs in restaurants and cafes that says pickpockets are everywhere and we're not responsible if you lose your things. So like, it's not a nice feeling. Again, coming from somewhere so chill like Valencia, where I felt relatively safe, coming here was again, I'm like, oh man, back to reality kind of situation, you know? Anyway, in Rome, I checked out the Colosseum, the Roman Forum. The Colosseum was one of my, I would say, bucket list. I'm a history nerd. I've said this many times before. When I travel, I really want to get to know the history and the local culture and what was life like before us, right? Colosseum was one of them. The moment I walk in, I wouldn't say, and I wouldn't use the word majestic, but I would say I felt the life before us. Like could imagine what it used to be, filled with people. It's so huge and it's like almost like a massive stadium, right? And the fights and the bloodshed and then the markets out there, people will be bustling. And then when the Christians take over and then everything, I could just kind of feel it the moment I walk in. And when the guide was sharing the story, unfortunately, this guy not very good. He not even Italian. He's from Russia. So I don't know lah. They talk very fast, and then he was walking so fast, like he's running a marathon. I'm like, cannot find him most of the time. And you know how all these touristy places is so packed. So unfortunately, my mistake was, I don't know. I felt like I wanted a story because with Sagrada, I had such a good tour guide. I thought I could do the same for Colosseum, but he wasn't the best. You know what he did? He literally explained the Roman Forum from the top of the Palatine Hill, guys. From the top of the hill, he point with his flag. Okay, so that's where Julius Caesar was buried. That's his tomb right there. You can go there, and this is where. Okay, thank you so much for me. If you give me 5-star, if possible, but you can go check it out yourself after this. And I'm just like, bro, are you serious? I paid money for you, you know? I thought it's a tour for Colosseum, Palatine Hill, and Roman Forum. But his Roman Forum tour was basically not even a tour, huh? Anyway, it is what it is. What can I do, right? Everybody kind of accepted our fate and moved on, and everybody went down to ourselves. So, yeah, couldn't be bothered, lah. These things happen, and I just kind of use ChatGPT a little bit, or like I kind of scoot closer to people who had tour guide and just listen to their stories when I can. But it was quite nice. Just so many stories. I think the one that, for me, I remember a lot was the way the tour guide told us that Colosseum used to be so much nicer. It was filled with all these travertine marble, but unfortunately the Pope took them all to build churches. So what's left of the Colosseum today is just the skeleton of it all. And they said that they had all these, what do you call it, soldiers? Gladiators. The gladiators that will fight each other. And of course, there are animals in there as well. And apparently, this place that we walk through, giraffe will walk through as well. So like all these stories were quite magnificent, and they even show us like those trap door where the moment you open the door, the lion will come out and like, you know, fight the gladiators. And I'm just like, whoa, I'm glad I'm not alive in that era, because I don't think I can fight a freaking lion, y'all. Oh my goodness. So yeah, just little things like that. Unfortunately, though, I didn't get to really enjoy Colosseum the way I enjoyed Sagrada Familia, because, again, he was hella rushed. He was running. I think he was running. He was really like freaking pace walking so quick that I lost track. Even like there was this uncle and auntie that had to tap out because he walked too fast, and there's too many stairs and everything in the Colosseum. So it can be quite tiring. But in Rome, I also visited Vatican City. So this was my personal highlight, actually. Even though Vatican City is not Rome, it's the smallest country in the world. Did you not know? If you don't know, Vatican City is the smallest country in the world. Like really, really tiny. It's only about 44 hectares. You could walk across the whole thing in under 1 hour. It's so small that they have no hospital, no airport, and no permanent citizens. I think their permanent citizens are all tourists because people just go there to visit. Literally, it's kind of like a theme park in my head. People go in, visit, and come out. But of course, it's more than just a theme park. That's where the Pope was elected. When Pope Francis died, they had a whole process of electing the new Pope. What's the new Pope's name? Do you remember? Oh man, I forgot his name, sorry. But yeah, the new Pope was elected and announced from there in Vatican City. So it's pretty cool because it happened just weeks before I arrived. So I felt like I could still feel the Pope's energy, you know what I'm saying? But the one thing you must do that I think you cannot skip if you go to Vatican City is obviously the St. Peter's Basilica. That's for sure. I think that's free to walk in on some days. And there's this holy door that only opens every 25 years. The Jubilee year, which was the year that I was in. So I walked through the holy door because apparently you walk through the holy door, all your sins will be gone. I wanted to walk twice, but I don't think I have that much sins. But like, it's crazy. If you go to TikTok right now, you just go Google Jubilee year, holy door, Vatican City. You can see people are just crowding over there. But thank God the day I went, it was still okay. And another highlight was the Sistine Chapel. So y'all know Michelangelo. I'm sure you guys know Michelangelo. He's a very, very famous figure. So here's the wild part, right? Michelangelo was the guy who drew all of the painting inside Sistine Chapel. Here's the crazy part that most of us did not know. He didn't even want to paint it. Michelangelo don't want to paint the Sistine Chapel. He don't want. There is even a painting of himself. It's so funny. I saw this painting on the wall, on the ceiling. Oh, it was a wall, sorry. And I said, oh, what is that guy holding? It's this, he drew himself in a form of dead skin. Meaning like, you know how in hell they say they torture you by ripping off your skin? It was his own skin being held by somebody else to show people that how painful it was to paint Sistine Chapel. He's a funny guy. It was a dark humor. Basically himself in the form of just skin left, meaning dead, being held by one of the gods, the Roman gods or whatever. It was crazy. And I was like, huh. So of all things he can paint himself in, he paint himself in the form of himself, but just dead skin. Damn. So he saw himself as a sculptor and not a painter. So when he got asked to do the ceiling, he was like, nah, it's not my thing, bruh. But the Pope said, no, you have to. I insist. So of course, I'm sure the money was good, and Pope insists you do lah, right? And lucky for us though, because the Pope insists and Michelangelo did, he ended up creating one of the most iconic work of art in history. And I'm talking about so many work of art, but one of it was the creation of Adam. If you don't know creation of Adam, just go to Google right now. You can see the painting of how two men's fingers are pointing at each other but barely touching. That was by Michelangelo. And I saw it with my own two eyes, with my neck completely strained because it was up on the ceiling. But holy shit, it was quite a moment. And in the Sistine Chapel, you're not allowed to take any photos or videos. Strictly not allowed, prohibited. But there were still people who were sneaking in some photos and videos. So then you would get caught. Nothing really happens. They would just say, please, no photos, no videos. I was like, okay, no photos, no videos. But yes, that's Sistine Chapel. Highly recommend you all to check it out. Now that the Pope situation has been settled, we've got a new Pope. The first American Pope, apparently, if I'm not wrong. Sistine Chapel is now open again. Back to business. So yes, that's pretty much it, I think. Places that I went to, Rome was nice, but not my favorite city. I had some bad encounter, which I will share later. But yeah, I went from Paris to Nice to Barcelona to Valencia and finally Rome. 2.5 weeks was a long time. And I've learned a lot, you guys. So here are some of the mistakes that I made and things that I've learned. And I hope you will not do the same. Let's go. So first things first. Always check your Airbnb on Google Maps. And I'm talking about street view. Like go into the street view, because then you can actually see what's around and what's the vibe. And if there's cancellation period, you can still cancel if you think it's too dodgy, especially if you're a solo traveler or if you're with a kid or whatever it is. You can see the surrounding. Even though maybe it's updated 3 years ago, but I don't think it will be that different. It will be quite up to date somewhat. So that's one thing that I've learned that I think I should have done after the whole Airbnb and Nice situation, where I was staying right next to a nightclub. That was a nightmare. Oh my God. Cannot sleep for 4 nights. Can you imagine? So that's one. Check Airbnb. Check your location on Google Maps, Street View. Second mistake that I did was, please don't buy water at the random convenience store in touristy spot. It's a trap. Look for a proper supermarket. It's usually a Carrefour in Europe. So far, it's just Carrefour that I saw. You have others, but basically a proper supermarket, not the random one that, you have like a foreigner taking care of the store, and like, the stuff are like probably expired. Some of them looks a bit run down. Go to a proper supermarket, because for a bottle of water, you can get it for below €1. But this girl arrived late, very thirsty. And I know I was going to be in Nice for a long time. So I want to buy like the 1 liter bottle, but in one pack. I thought it would be cheaper. And I was tired. It was late. I didn't think so much. I just tapped my card. 12 euros. 12 euros for 6 bottle of water. You are. Oh my God. I was so angry thinking about it. And I didn't realize until I tapped the card. Like sometimes when you're tired, you just currency, you don't times 5. Oh, okay, 12. Okay. Wait, 12 times 5? How much is that? A lot of money. So, yeah. And then you realize in the supermarket, they only sell it for like 76 cents. So I paid double and more the price. So please, 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 if you really are desperate for some water, I know they say can drink tap water, but I just don't trust it. Plus, my Airbnb wasn't giving me the clean impression, so I didn't drink it just in case I get stomachache. But yeah, don't pay 12 euros for water, guys. Like, it's not worth it. Go to a convenience store, like a proper supermarket, okay? Okay, next mistake that I did was not checking local events. So, the first one was in Paris. It was Labor Day. So, Parisians apparently take this holiday for real. They don't take it for granted. It was crazy. Everything was closed in Paris on that day. Literally all shops, malls. I thought can go to malls. No, malls were closed too. Everything was closed. It was dead town. Pretty much dead town. Only touristy area. But again, imagine if the whole city is closed, only touristy area. How many people are there? a lot. So it was not pleasant. So I do not recommend going to Paris on 1st of May. I don't know if it's the same for most European cities, but in Malaysia, hey, everything goes as per normal. Shopping mall even more open because people are there, right? So I didn't think of that. So didn't check that. Even museums are closed, by the way. So yeah, you might not want to be there on such a day, especially if you have very little day. So that kind of takes away a whole day for me already, unfortunately. But what can I do, right? So I just roam around the streets, look for cute cafes that were still open, and do what I could, like just make do. And Monaco was also another mistake. They had Formula E. I did not check. I did a day trip from Nice. Everything was shut, impossible to get around. And it was really boring. I'm not going to lie. Monaco was boring for me because I couldn't do things that I wanted to do. And I don't know if it's because of a Sunday, but like I could have picked another day. But again, like I said, it was my mistake. I could have checked. But thankfully, the day trip was just 20 minutes away. So it was still okay. I left earlier, but still got stuck in human traffic. But yeah, that was my mistake, to always check for local events. Like don't take it lightly, because it could really waste a lot of your time, especially if you're going to be traveling all the way there just for it, to think only to find out that you can't do anything, right? That's not nice. So next thing. Oh, I learned this on my trip there. I did quite a lot of domestic travel. So you don't need to buy cabin bags, guys, unless you really have like a hand carry luggage, because I thought my backpack, that's not my handbag, is considered overhead cabin. Basically, they charge for like overhead compartment bag also. So I thought as long as I need to put things there, I need to pay. So I didn't want to get into trouble when I'm there, maybe pay triple the price, right? Usually it's like that. When you're in the airport, you have to pay triple the price, especially for your baggage limit and everything. So I thought I was smart by buying it in advance, only to find out that I don't think I needed to pay what I did. So I was boarding the flight and I was trying to put my bags on the top, and the cabin crew was like, no, just put down, just put under your seat. And I'm like, no, I bought an overhead compartment. I bought it. Oh, shock, check. Then only they check the ticket, but it's full. You just put underneath. I'm like, then I buy for what? It's like another 20, 30 euros, you know? Holy shit. I did not know, because I thought they're strict about it, because I've heard so much nightmare about Ryanair, that they're strict about their luggage policies and everything. So I thought I was trying to be safe, but turns out if you don't actually have the roller bag, I don't think they are as strict. Again, I don't know, take it with a pinch of salt. I was trying to be safe, and I guess it's better safe than sorry. So yeah, don't think I needed to buy the cabin bag if I didn't actually have my hand carry luggage. Mine was just a backpack and a tote bag, right? And next mistake I did was not booking my tours earlier. Again, like I said, for me, I booked 2 weeks before I was supposed to fly. So everything else was affected as well. And I booked a lot of the tours very last minute. Sagrada Familia, I booked on the morning of. Very lucky that I still got to and managed to get a good tour for the most iconic, important part. But for Colosseum, I only booked like 2 days before. It wasn't the best tour, unfortunately. So yes, you might not get lucky with the tickets all the time, so just book ahead, okay? Most of the time they have cancellation policy, so it's better to have to cancel than to not be able to book, especially for all these touristy spots, because they are very, very quick to go. Like tickets get sold out so quick. It's insane. The one regret that I did was not booking the Louvre. Didn't get to see Mona Lisa, didn't get to see a lot of the art exhibition, because I didn't book in advance. So again, that's my mistake. But it's okay. Like, I did enjoy Paris overall, so it's fine. It's not the end of the world. But if I can imagine, if I didn't get to see Sagrada Familia, I think I'll cry. Actually, I will cry. I went all the way there. I don't know when I'm going to go to Barcelona again. But yeah, book everything in advance. Just don't even discount it. Non-negotiable. Unless you're very lucky. I was very lucky. Maybe you're lucky. I don't know. Take the risk yourself at your own risk. Okay. Now, this next one is not really a mistake, but based on my experience, you don't need that much cash. I brought quite a bit of cash. Like 1,000 ringgit worth of cash. Was it 1,000 or like 2,000? 2,000 ringgit worth of cash, thinking that I would need a lot of it. card is king in Europe, so you don't really need that much cash at all. So for the 2.5 weeks I was there, I think I used less than 50 euros. And the only reason why I have to use it was because I wanted to use cash because I have some cash. Otherwise, don't need actually. So I would say bring less cash and just have more money in your card. Yeah. Okay. Last two things that I've learned. Tax refund. So obviously when you go to Europe, we all want to shop. You want to shop the LV, you want to shop that, or you want to shop the local brands. So many nice European brands, really. And for tax refund, if you're traveling multiple cities, European cities like I did, you can actually only do it at your final destination leaving Europe. So for me, you can't do, even though I was at the airport in Nice to fly to Barcelona, leaving France, no, you cannot do your tax refund then. It has to be your final stop. In my case was Rome in Italy. So until then, you need to have all of your receipts and forms with you until then. So they will give it to you. You give them your passport when you buy purchase something and tell them you want a tax refund. They'll do it for you. So that form is Global Blue, if I'm not wrong, the brand. Keep it with you at all times. And you're supposed to show the items that you bought just in case. So you're not supposed to use it throughout the trip, because they might deny you your tax refund because it's now used goods. It's no longer brand new, right? But in my case, they didn't ask to check. So I ended my trip in Italy, and actually in retrospect, it's actually the easiest to do the tax refund in the home city. Meaning if you bought the stuff in Italy and then you do the tax refund in Italy, very fast. 5 days, you get your money back. But the tax refund that was from other countries like Spain and France, 1 month, y'all. So at this point of recording, I am still waiting for money for my tax refund. I don't know if I'll get it back. Touch wood, I would, because all I had to do was declare the form, which I have a story to tell, by the way. Declare the form and then drop the form in like a box with all the other forms. It didn't feel very safe. What if they lose my paper? Then that's it lah. I don't think they will be able to refund my tax anymore. So I don't know. But for the Italian one, because I left from Italy, through the machine, done. 5 days, money back. So easy. So if you don't want the anxiety, you want money back quick, then just wait till your last stop to shop. And also, only at my last stop, I realized, okay, if you shop in Italy out of the airport, tax back is like 12%. Again, I don't know if they will change, but at the point of recording right now, it's May 2025. I think it was 22% at the airport if you shop. Bruh, that's insane. 22%. Again, maybe terms and conditions apply. I don't know if it applies to all the brands, but holy shit, that's insane. So be mindful. You can wait till your last stop if you can, but like things like, I don't know, if you really want to buy an LV, obviously you want to buy it from the home country, right? Like in France, or like when you're in Spain, you want to buy the home country brands, like Loewe is from Spain. So it does make sense to buy there. So yeah, I don't know, you gotta make do for it lah. And last but not least is I can officially and safely say I came back with all my phones and wallets and passport intact. I was not robbed. Touch wood. Thank God. Jesus, thank you. JC. Terima kasih. So what I did was, guys, there's no way. You need to keep your guard up. The one time I kept my guard down, I brought my guard down, was in Nice, but God sent me somebody to tell me she's going to rob you. Then my guard went back up ever since. In Valencia also. But, you know, it was safe, thank God. But there's no way for me to tell you how not to get things stolen, apart from you need to not be stupid. Actually, you really want. We can't be silly. If you let your guard down and you... not calling you stupid, I'm sorry, but if I stupidly put my bag away from me, that's a silly move, bro. Your bag will be gone in seconds. I'm not even joking. So keep it with you at all times. I didn't bring any of my branded bags. I wanted to bring my whatever bags, like even my cute bags I didn't bring. My paper bunny, the cute one. Okay, not super expensive. It's like local Singaporean brand. All my local bags, like cute one, I didn't even bring because it draws attention. I brought my most low key bag that I can find, and bags that I can clip my carabiner onto myself, onto my zipper, or onto my belt hole, or onto my, basically to lock it up so that people can't unzip it. So if you have those bags, that would be good. And like bum bag that you can stick it to you and then wear your jacket over it, yes. But those, like cute handbag, you want to bring your Bottega, tidak boleh lah sis, susah ya, very hard. So that's my only advice, to not get robbed or like get pickpocketed, because these guys, they do it for a living, man. It's insane. They are very sophisticated, and they don't look like what you think they look. They could look like a regular person who dressed very well, that you will not think that they would steal things. And that's the crazy part. So don't take it for granted, and just be very careful. That's the only way I can tell you. Just keep your bags with you at all times. Every 2 seconds, just check if it's zipped. Every 5 minutes, I check if it's zipped. If it's unzipped, I put it back in and lock it again. And never leave your bags anywhere else. And I know, as a content creator myself, I like to do content. But if you realize, a lot of my content, I have my phone with me like this, with my band here, and I held it tight. I would never hold my phone this way with this thing dangling on the streets, because somebody could very well just come over and snatch and go, and I'm finished. Really. And some of the very rare minimal content where I clearly put my phone on the corner and like film myself is when there's absolutely nobody. So do it with caution. And that's the only tip I have for you. Otherwise, just be careful and pray to God, okay? Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Now, if you've been here for a while, you would know that we've been growing the podcast on our own for a while now. And one way you can really support us is by subscribing to our channel, following us on social media, and interacting with us. Leave a like, comment, react, anything if any of the episodes resonates with you. Even better yet, if you love it, share it so that we can reach more people like you. I know they're just small gestures, but they mean the world to us, and I know they will leave a big impact. Now we are down to some of my personal hot takes that not many people would agree with, but some things I didn't quite enjoy. Okay? The food experience. I don't know if it's just me, guys. Please tell me if it's me problem or if it's their problem. But in almost every city I go to, if I don't order drinks, they give me a look. But bro, I've been drinking on my way here. I'm very full already. I just want to eat. I just want pizza and pasta. But if I don't order appetizer, I don't order drink, they give me a look. And it's a look of, what the fuck are you here then? And it was the worst in Italy. I'm not going to lie. I'm sorry if you're Italian, if you love Italy. My personal experience in Italy, first impression, wasn't the best. I had my favorite moments, but this was not my favorite. So, okay, imagine I'm in a restaurant and I literally just drank like a drink on the way here, because sometimes you get a drink while you're walking and everything, right? I'm quite full, but I want food. Only food. And it's so normal to go to a restaurant and not order drinks sometimes, especially in Malaysia. I don't know. It's not a problem here. So I will order my stuff. Okay, I would like a pizza and then this pasta. Grazie. Is it grazie in Italian? I got mixed up. Grazie. You don't want drinks? You don't want starters? No, it's okay. What about beer, wine, orange juice? No. I'm like, no, it's okay. Okay. No beer, no wine, no starters, no. Only pasta, pizza. And they would very aggressively take the empty wine glass from my table. Okay, that's all. Okay. And I'm just like, what? Is it an issue not ordering drinks? Because I felt very not welcome. And I don't know if it's just me. So ever since then, I had to pressure order something. I don't want to deal with it because it's not nice. And So I just forced myself to order a drink even though I don't want to drink. And it's peer pressure, and I didn't like it. I didn't like that I have to feel that way to have to order drinks or like order something that I didn't actually need. Yeah. So can someone please tell me is it why it felt like I was offending them by not ordering drinks? I mean, sometimes I just tap water will do. What about beer? What about sangria? What about this? No, 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 no. Okay, okay. I'm like, I feel like I did something wrong. So that was not very welcoming. And another experience I had was with the Italian custom officer. Dude, he was so rude. Oh my God. If I had the balls that day, I would have punched his face. So, the VAT, going back to the tax refund, you need to show your stuff, right? And I thought we needed to show our stuff. So I was having everything ready with me. But dude, he did not say a word. Like, it was almost like he's mute. He just signaled his hand to do this. He just signaled his hand to, like, as though asking me to open something. Like this. And I'm like, okay. What does he mean? Open my bags? Or like, open my things? I showed my things. And like, it was very condescending. It was almost like I'm dumb. He made me feel so stupid. And then, long story short, he's trying to make me open the forms, the tax refund form. So I opened my tax refund form, and then he made another gesture trying to open and take something out. Open and take something out. And I'm like, okay, take what out? What do you need? Just open your mouth. He could have just told me, I just need the form inside. That's it. It would have solved the problem. But it was like a 30 to 40 second of me trying to figure out what he wants. He opened and then like this. Open like this. He mimicked pulling something out. I was like, okay, maybe he want the receipt. So I took out the receipt and gave it to him. He threw the receipt back at me. And he repeated that gesture again of opening and pulling something out. By the way, if you guys don't know what I'm doing, just go to YouTube. Visuals there. And I'm like, okay, maybe he wants the form. Okay, turns out he wants the form. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to know? Because I'm supposed to keep the receipt. I don't know what you want. Just tell me. So he took the form and I gave him all the form and he threw the envelope back to me. Never mind. And then when he was done chopping, he really just he crumpled all my paper, guys. It's almost like when you're done, when you're stress drawing and your drawing is not perfect, you scrunch it up and you throw it into bin, right? He scrunched up my paper and he threw it at me. And I was just like flabbergasted. I was just like, what? Why are all Italians like that? What? My friend told me such great things about Italy, but holy shit, he's an asshole. He threw it at me. I felt so humiliated. But I didn't want to like cause trouble because, what if he take the paper and then he just rip it off? He could very well do that. He's an officer. I don't know how crazy he could get. I just put my head down and took the paper and just went to the side and really sit down on the ground and just kind of like uncrumple it and fold it back nicely. Because I still needed it to put it into the box, remember? But wow, I really wanted to cry actually. Like, it was very humiliating. So he's not watching this right now, but to that custom officer, fuck you. Really? I wanted to say that to him, to his face, but fuck you, bro. That was so uncalled for. Anyway, that was my experience. Unfortunately, it was not on a high note. That was my last trip. I was going to go home. I was so ready to come home. Like, I just want to go home, go to my bed, go to my people. But yeah. And I guess another thing that I didn't fully enjoy was the overall safety. Just knowing that I can't really trust anyone, because that's not something that you ever experience in, say, Japan. Like, so safe. In fact, my first ever solo trip was the safest I've ever felt. But in Europe, unfortunately, I hope this changes. Like, I hope economy gets better. I don't know. I know it's very complex, but I hope it changes. And yeah, just not safe. And I don't know. I don't want to say I don't recommend solo traveling there, but like, it doesn't matter. Solo traveling or not solo, it's just not safe. There are safer cities, but in general, there's just too many sketchy people. And yeah. Just gotta keep your guards up, and to do that when you're trying to go on a holiday to relax, it's very contradicting. You're trying to relax, but you're trying to have your guard up. So my anxiety level was high all the time. So would I say I did not enjoy the trip? No, of course not. But again, you see, like when I was in Switzerland, so safe, so nice. So yeah, I don't think it's city specific, but like it's just the people, just the people, unfortunately. But yeah, and final bit that I would just close this with is how much I spent. Guys, I just feel like my amount is not a great indication of the spending that you should budget, because my flight alone was already 8,000 ringgit back and forth, because so last minute. So it's not even business class, it's like economy class and premium economy in one way, and the other one is economy. But yeah, I took Singapore Airlines. Shout out Singapore Airlines. I think they have one of the best service that I've ever experienced. Had some issues before the flight, and I called them. It was all sorted. And Airbnb, of course, at such last minute time, it's also very, very expensive. So long story short for y'all, just my flight and my domestic flight and my train and Airbnbs, it was close to 19. That's why I had to really save up when I was there. Like, there's just no way. My stuff were already booked, and there were a lot of drama, but long story short, so I don't think it needs to be that much. That's why at the start of this episode, I said mine is way more than what it should be, because again, very last minute. So now I need to work very, very hard because my pockets are empty. Plus spending there, euros is a lot of money. So there's probably another 5,000-6,000 there locally. So you do the math, right? But I would say it really depends, right? Like, what's your style? Do you eat good restaurants every time? If you don't need to, street food is also very affordable. There are a lot of affordable stuff there. It's just that, of course, you really can't convert everything. If it's a €2 thing, you can't think that it's expensive because it's only €2. But of course, for us, it's 10 ringgit. But it is what it is. Sometimes you can't convert that much, but I would recommend going to all of these markets. That's where you get the best food, and prices is also slightly better than most places. So yeah, every city will have their best market, so go check it out. But yeah, that's how much I spent. And with that, I wrap up this episode. I hope I give you a good insight as to how my trip was. Again, it's very different for everybody. If I plan better, I feel like I could really bring everything down to under 10K. If I book earlier, my flights could have been just 3 to 4K back and forth, but right now it's double the price for reasons that I've stated at the start of this episode. It was very, very last minute, and some drama that happened with my dates and like my bookings. So yeah, fully sponsored by yours truly. And hopefully this episode gave you a good insight as to what you need to prep for your next Europe trip or your next big trip. And yeah, I think that's it for today, guys. If there's any questions, feel free to drop it down in the comments down below, and I'll be more than happy to answer you, because time limitations, I'm already beyond an hour, so there's only so much I could share. And with that, like I always say, don't forget to fall head over heels for yourself first and always, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye. Head over heels, head over heels, head over heels, head over heels, head over heels.